Hello everyone and welcome to Motorcyclegear.com. Today we're taking a look at the Tracer Air 3 Overshirt from REV'IT. Brand new for spring 2025 is the Tracer Air 3 Overshirt from REV'IT. Now in its third generation, the Tracer Air 3 picks up where the Tracer Air 2 left off. Now keep in mind this is not a full design overhaul, with the overall styling being fairly similar, but the major change here is that the Tracer Air 2 was CE single A rated, while the new Tracer Air 3 is CE double A rated. Definitely love seeing that improvement in safety from REV'IT, so great work there. There are two colors available, a simple all black and a sand variant, and I will point out that I'm not usually a huge fan of tan or sand colored jackets, but I do have to say that the Tracer Air 3 looks really good in the sand color, especially in person. Let's go ahead and talk about sizing. The range is going to be from small to 4XL, and at roughly 6 foot, 215 pounds, I typically wear a size XL in REV'IT. Here in the Tracer Air 3, I am wearing a size XL, and it does fit me as I would expect it to. Now keep in mind this is more of a regular fit. What that means is that it's not going to be too tight or too loose. My recommendation here for sizing is to get whatever size you normally wear in REV'IT or in most major European brands. Now, if you're not familiar with REV'IT sizing, make sure you head up Motorcyclegear.com. We do have full measurements and size charts on the website. And if you do need additional help, reach out to us via phone or email. We'll be happy to help you out to make sure you get the size that you need. One more note on sizing here is that REV'IT, as of late, has been a little bit more true to size than in the past. Previously, they ran a little bit tighter, definitely more of a European cut. They're definitely still not considered an American cut, but they're definitely more true to size than they have been in the past. Just kind of keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the details. Overall construction is going to be a combination of PWR shell mesh as well as some polyester ripstop. Now this is a cool combination of materials because it does obviously breathe very well with all the mesh, but it does also keep you safe as well. As I did mention earlier, the Tracer Air 3 is now CE AA rated, obviously a step up from the previous version, the Tracer Air 2 only having been single A rated, so definitely a step up there. Moving on from the materials, let's go ahead and talk about this logo right here on the upper right hand side of the chest. Very cool design here, just barely different in color from the rest of the jacket, and I love that design choice here because it's kind of a subtle, subdued branding of the logo. Still visible enough to look good, but not really in your face, so definitely adds to that casual vibe that the Overshirt has going on overall. This is going to be the case here on both the sand color and on the black colorway, where the logo is just slightly different. Moving on from the logo, right below it, you will see a chest pocket. In fact, there are two chest pockets. Pretty good size here. As you open one up, you can put my hand inside. My hand fits pretty much all the way in. For reference, I do wear a size large glove. Now, one thing that's kind of unique about these pockets is on the one side, you've got a pull tab, flap opens, and you've got a Velcro closure. On the opposite side, you have two snap buttons. Flap opens, again, flap closure with two snap buttons. So two different closure types on the two separate pockets. Not quite sure why REV'IT did that. Maybe just to be different and unique, maybe just to have something to talk about. That's kind of a style choice for this jacket. Really no functional purpose in my opinion, but both pockets still work very well and both pockets still look good. So either way, good to go here. Now, speaking of pockets, if you are looking for hand warmer style pockets that are normally located here on the sides, well, you are going to be disappointed because the Tracer Air 3 Overshirt does not have any. So just keep that in mind. The two chest pockets here on the top are going to be your only pockets on the outside of this jacket. Moving on from the pockets, let's go ahead and talk about the main zipper here. Pretty standard main zipper, good solid size here. It is kind of tucked in behind these little channels. They're almost kind of like raised pipe pieces. This is good because it does tuck in the zipper. And then also on the bottom here, it does help kind of protect your tank with a little bit of an extension here on that piped piece as well. Now here's where things get a little bit weird, a little bit interesting. If you've watched multiple reviews here before with me, I've always talked about how REV'IT does a really, really good job in having super nice wide pull tabs, making it very easy to use your zipper with your gloves on or off. For whatever reason, the design choice here is this string shoelace-like extension. It kind of Opens up, you can put your fingers in it. It's got this extra piece here. I'm not really quite sure what we're doing here. There's really no reason for this other than maybe like a style design choice. The normal pull tabs work really great. I would have loved to have just seen the regular REV'IT wide pull tab here. It's one of those things where if it's not broken, don't fix it. Again, maybe it's just kind of a style choice, but to me, just having that regular tab would have been just fine. Moving on from the zipper itself, you will notice once the zipper is fully zipped up here, there is not any sort of a cover or flap over the zipper, but that should not be a problem as you do have the collar kind of keeping the zipper from irritating your neck. So really not an issue here, just pointing that out. And speaking of the collar, really nice collar here. It's not the softest material that, REV'IT has ever used, but still definitely comfortable, no issues there. And I love what the collar here is that you do have button snaps to keep the collar in place. That way, if you do have the wind coming up from the front, hits the collar won't flip up on you. Instead, it'll be buttoned down nice and secure, staying in place, and then obviously looking good while doing it. Let's go ahead and jump over to the sleeves here. A fairly simple and straightforward design. Not too much going on, but you will notice that it is all PWR shell mesh, so definitely a ton of breathability going throughout the entire arms here. Two things that I do want to point out though, you do get a 3D logo from REV'IT here on the left hand side. Everything on the sleeves is symmetrical, but the logo, it is going to be only on the left. I do like these. Again, they are 3D. They kind of pop up from the jacket. And again, the subtle color difference from the jacket, not too loud, not too in your face. Doesn't pop out too much, but it pops just enough to look good and still keep that casual vibe going on. Down from there, we do have a button closure at the cuff. As you unbutton it, pretty much opens up wider to make it easier to get in and out of the overshirt. Now, there is no adjustment here. It is a single button. So once you close it up, that's pretty much it. Not a big deal on the adjustment piece. A jacket like this is meant to be a little bit free and loose, so you really don't need to tighten the sleeves too much. So a single closure will work out just fine. Let's go ahead and make our way to the back here. You'll notice that the simplicity in the design continues. We do get some polyester ripstop here at the top, and that kind of breaks up the rest of the jacket, which is going to be all that PWR shell mesh. Obviously, with this much mesh, the jacket is going to breathe quite well, so definitely nice to have that on the warmer days. Now, the only real feature to note back here is you do get a extended back. Obviously good to have for that lower back coverage. And really, other than that, there's not too much going on. I will say this though, my only real complaint about the design here, especially on the back, is that there is no reflective material. Now, I do know that we're going for a specific look, and we don't want to ruin that, so I get what REV'IT was trying to do, but I do feel like there's different ways they could have snuck in some reflective material without ruining the overall look and vibe. Let's go ahead and make our way to the inside of the Tracer Air 3 overshirt, and right off the bat, you can see that there is a mesh liner. This is further going to enhance that comfort and breathability. And then here right in the middle, there is going to be inside the mesh liner a pocket for the optional level 2 back protector. Now in typical REV'IT fashion, you do have a simple Velcro closure here, and then taking out all the guesswork, there is going to be the type and size of back protector that does fit inside this pocket. And speaking of the armor, included armor is going to be C-Smart CE level 1. Let me go ahead and pull it out here from the shoulder. It is going to be included in both the shoulder and the elbows. As you guys can see, typical armor from REV'IT level 1, it is going to be T+, T-. A lot of flexibility, a lot of breathability, very comfortable, good quality armor here. One thing to note on the armor though, on the elbows, the elbow armor is not adjustable. So just keep that in mind, but I will say proportionately, it does seem to be located in the right spot, so I don't think that'll be an issue. A few other items to show here on the inside are going to be towards the bottom of the overshirt. We do have a short connection zipper. This will obviously work with pants that have a short connection zipper as well, or can be utilized with REV'IT's Safeway belt accessory, obviously keeping the jacket from riding up. Another way to keep the jacket from riding up is you do have included jeans loop hooks. Elastic material here, basically slide it through the jeans hoops, the belt hoops that is, and then go ahead and slide through, button up one on each side. Again, keeps the jacket from riding up. Moving on over to the left hand side of the jacket, you will notice there is a pocket right here. It does have a button closure, and it's going to be a side access, roughly the size of my hand. A little bit of extra room, and in fact, you can fit your smartphone in there. iPhone 15 Pro Max fits without issue. The opening's a little bit tighter, but once you slide the phone in, you'll notice there's plenty of space around it to work with. Now, this is going to be the only pocket on the inside of the jacket, but I do want to point out one thing on top of the pocket, and that is going to be this stat sheet right here. So I love the fact that REV'IT does this on their jackets. In fact, most of their newer or more current jackets have this included. And again, I absolutely love it. So what does it have right off the bat? CE rating. Right there it is, CE AA. Right below that, it tells you the construction of the jacket. So PWR shell mesh, polyester ripstop. I did mention that earlier. And then right below that, it'll actually show you the type of armor included, both here at the shoulder and the elbow. And then it also tells you the type of back protector that you need if you want to go ahead and put the optional back protector in the back protector pocket. So really cool stat sheet here. There are a lot of brands out there who kind of hide, if you will, the CE rating, or if it even has one, or they'll kind of make it harder to find out what the jacket is made out of. So I love the fact that REV'IT is fully transparent, has it really nice and easy to find right here on the inside of the jacket. You have all the stats that you need. Overall, the Tracer Air 3 from REV'IT is going to be a protective yet highly breathable overshirt that definitely offers a good amount of value for the money. Personally, I like the fit, I like the look, and I especially like the fact that the new version is now AA rated versus the older version only having been single A rated. It's always great to see an improvement in safety, so hats off to REV'IT for making that happen. If you are looking for this kind of a style in an overshirt, it's definitely a great place to start. All right, so that's going to be it for the Tracer Air 3 from REV'IT. Be sure to visit Motorcyclegear.com. Hit us up in the comments down below via phone or email, as we are always here to help you out with your motorcycle gear needs. Thank you all for watching. Till next time.